So the Philadelphia 76ers begin their 4-game Western Conference road trip with a huge win over a hot Sacramento Kings team, winning 119 to 111. I am giddy as hell. This Sixers team, guys, I really don't want to look too far ahead, but this is a damn good basketball team that we have here in front of our very own eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into talking about this game, first off, welcome to my channel. It is your boy, El Parcero Philly, the uniter of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. Before we move forward, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and the channel to help your favorite Parcero grow here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. The Sixers kick off their 4-game Western Conference road trip with a huge win over the Kings. Now, last time we saw the Sixers facing off against the Brooklyn Nets, what a big win that was. Now, look, first off, Brooklyn, why are you ducking us? Why is it that we can't face you guys off against your best team possible? We want to see KD, Kyrie, and James Harden all together. So allow us to see that possibility, what our Sixers could look like with that roster up against them. But Saturday night was a big win. It is what it is. For the people saying like, "Oh, there was no Kyrie, there was no KD," you gotta get your job done, right? What was in front of you was the Nets. They got the job done, and it's, you know, a lot of these wins that I'm seeing from the Sixers, it's the same type of things, but this team is still not figured out completely. I won't get to that in a second. But after that big Brooklyn Nets win, big Eastern Conference showdown at home, you move on to Sacramento. We start this 4-game road trip here. Now look, heading into this road trip, I was a little worried. Now last year, we all know the road woes that the Sixers had. They just did not look like the same team we saw on the road that what we would see at the Wells Fargo Center. And now this is a good test because this is now the first time the Sixers are traveling farther than, what, Florida? Like, where, I don't even know where the farthest Charlotte, I think, is the farthest we've gone this season. Like, we haven't gone even past the Midwest. So now we're over in the West Coast. We're starting off in California. It was the Sacramento Kings. Now, usually, most of the time, when it comes to Sacramento, I would think, like, okay, this is an easy win. Like come on, easy W, because this is Sacramento Kings. And, shouts out to Sacramento for giving us that pick swap as well. Anytime I face off against the Kings, it's hard not to think about the pick swap. It really is hard not to think about that. But this year, the Sacramento Kings team is a little different. De'Aaron Fox really has taken his game to the next step. My God, he really did. He truly is developing into a superstar guard. He's the reason why the Kings are playing as well as they are. And you saw the skill that he displayed on the night. He finished the night with 34 points. But my dude was I thought he was more efficient than he was. But we'll get to it in a second. But besides Aaron Fox, obviously Buddy Hield has been high. He hasn't been consistent. And he looked like he gained a little weight in this game. I'm just saying. But he did have a solid game for the Sacramento Kings. But you still got Marvin Bagley. He's still developing, trying to get to where he wants to go. Harrison Barnes is a solid veteran player. And Tyrese Halliburton, my God, he's not a rookie that many are talking about right now because LaMelo Ball is doing what he's doing right now. But my God, that was a good pick by the Kings. Truly was a good pick by the Kings. But this game started off in the Sixers' favor. They would dominate that first quarter in this game here. It was in that first quarter, they dropped 42 right on Sacramento. The second quarter was a different story. The Kings, their shooting came alive. They were alive from the three between Darion and Buddy Hield and I think Halliburton. That they killed us, and we had almost a 20-point lead. We were getting there, and then Sacramento went on a run near the end. It felt like we were going to run away with the game, but then halfway through the second quarter, Sacramento turns it up. And they go on a huge run, and now at halftime, we're down 71-66, just like that. And it's like, what the heck happened? The perimeter defense went missing for the Sixers, and Sacramento took advantage of it. Throughout the game, when Sacramento had those runs, they really killed you with their perimeter shooting. And those guys play really fast. Like, you think we play fast? Those guys play really freaking fast. And on those quick transitions, they really got us pretty good. But you go into halftime, you're down. But these are the type of games that we have Doc Rivers for, right? Because, I feel like if this was the team last year, we would have lost this game. Like, flat out, we would have lost this game. You're on the road, down by 6. You allow a Kings team to come back on you. I figured we would have lost it. But credit to Doc and credit to these guys. They really turned it back around, especially in that third quarter. They turned around midway through it. It was pretty even, 21 points scored by the Sixers, 20 points scored by the Kings. The fourth quarter, the Sixers turned it on. Great adjustments made by Doc Rivers. Matisse Thybulle was huge in guarding the Aaron Fox. The Aaron Fox really didn't do much for the Kings in that fourth quarter. Buddy Hield as well cooled off. Marvin Bagley was really getting most of the points, and Halliburton was really getting most of the points for the Kings in that fourth quarter. And then Joel, Ben, and Seth Curry. Seth Curry had himself a game, but those guys really were key going forward in that fourth quarter. And then defense just turned it up. The perimeter defense turned it up more, and the Kings just did not have enough. And when listen, we all know Rashawn Holmes here in Philly. He's a processor, but he's no match for Joel Embiid. Rashawn is still like 6'10", 6'11". He's 6'11" at best. On a good day, he's 6'11". You're not stopping Joel Embiid. Like, it's so hard, and it's crazy. I was listening to Sixers Insiders. Sixers Talk. Sixers Talk, the NBC Sports podcast, and they had Daryl Morey on the podcast for an interview, and it was so funny, and it's so true the way he puts it. Is like, Joel Embiid doesn't belong in the NBA, and what he meant by that was he's just a mismatch for everyone in the league. Like, name me one player that could stop Joel Embiid this season. Like, he's playing at the highest level that we've ever seen him in his career, and there's not many people that can stop him. Poor Rashawn Holmes, he was trying his best. They put even Marvin Bagley out there, and then of course they tried Hassan Whiteside, and Joel even had a little smirk, and he, because you guys remember those battles Hassan had when he was with Miami and Joel essentially Joel ended his and Andre Drummond's careers, in my honest opinion, but that was so funny. Hassan couldn't have played more than 10 minutes in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just find that real quick, because I am very curious to see what Hassan Whiteside did here in this game. So he only played 7 minutes. He had himself only a single. He didn't have a single point. He had 2 blocks. So, Hassan Whiteside really fell off hard. But no, look. At the end of the day, Sixers hit some key shots. Defense stepped up. Seth Curry, he ended his game with 22 points. He had himself he had no assists. Okay, no, he had 1 assist. He was 4 of 6 from the 3-point line, giving him a 67% 3-point percentage, while he was 7 for 13 from the field with the 54% shooting from the field. This, to me, was Seth Curry's best performance since that COVID situation. He had a COVID since he came back from COVID. We've talked about it. It's been like 2 weeks now 3 weeks now that Seth Curry has returned from his COVID. And he was slow. Like, he wasn't looking himself. He wasn't knocking down his shots. He had a couple games where he had zeros on the stat line. This, to me, was the best game we've seen Seth Curry since that COVID situation. And he just looked more precise. The shot was knocking down. He started the game with a nice, easy layup, going baseline and just getting right to the layup. And once those shots were knocking down, it was tough to stop him. He hit some key shots in the fourth quarter, and this is definitely huge. This is definitely huge. Maybe Seth going back to the West Coast. He did play for the Warriors. He did play for the Kings as well. I don't think he played for the Clippers or the Lakers, but he's definitely obviously enjoys playing in California. But he even said it himself. He felt more comfortable. He felt like he was attacking more, and that's very good. We need Seth Curry shooting. We are definitely going to need Danny Green and Seth Curry to step up. Danny Green obviously stepped up on Saturday night. He hit some key shots. He definitely set the tone, especially in that second half of that Nets game. Danny Green was a little cold in this game, but Seth Curry, his shooting was huge as well. Tobias Harris, he was key as well in that fourth quarter. He did not have a good night. The first 3 quarters was not a good night. In that fourth quarter, he truly stepped it up. He finished the night with 22 points. He had himself 10 boards and assists. He was 2 of 5 from the 3, 8 of 15 from the field. But the key part is because every night's not going to be your night, and we all know this. We all know how it is in the NBA. But the fact that Toby Did not play well through the first 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter turned it up. This is truly what you want to see from Tobias Harris. Toby, he should be an all-star. And I know it's us, the fans, that vote for these all-stars, but he deserves to be an all-star. He's playing at a pristine level, averaging 20 points this season. When the Sixers need him, he steps up. He looks comfortable, and he's confident right now. That's the key part. He is playing confident right now. And I'm excited. If Toby continue, I think Toby's played like this all season long. Toby continues playing like this, I really do like our chances. Toby could be that third guy. Now, who's going to close out the games? It's a different story. But for right now, Toby's doing well. Ben Simmons again, another big game with his 14 points. And guys, we all know what it is when it comes to Ben Simmons. Defense, creating for others. Leading the charge as far as the defense, and especially in transition goes. He was 2-6 from the free throw line. That's something I don't want to see. 33% free throw shooter on the night. But guys, we know when Ben Simmons is out, this team is not right. Ben Simmons controls the pace, and I'm liking the tenacity I'm seeing from Ben Simmons. I'm seeing more of that tenacity come out in him. He's playing with a little edge, and I'm thoroughly enjoying that. And hopefully we can continue seeing him playing like that. But again, a solid night for Ben Simmons. Furkan Korkmaz finished the night with 13 points. He was 2-3 from the three-point line and 5-7 from the field, so he was efficient. Now, from Furky, what I'm seeing from Furky is a guy who's also playing with a little bit of an edge. He's playing more aggressive. He's shooting that ball without thinking, and he's getting to the paint now. Teams now know that he likes to shoot, so they just guard him up. But, he's hitting guys with a pump and driving to the lane. People don't think that he has that driving game, and he's been developing that. And again, that's all because of the tutelage of Doc Rivers. But, Furky is deserving these minutes. Now, Furky had 17 minutes in the last night's game. He's deserving of these minutes, truly and honestly. He's earned the minutes in the rotation, so we'll see what he continues to do. Shake Milton had 11 points. There was a scare in the fourth quarter where he was trying to wrap around, and he banged into Harrison Barnes' foot. Now, no word on whether or not Furky will play the next game tomorrow night against Portland, Shake, whether he plays tomorrow night against Portland. But it was a scary moment, but I think he should be okay. I think they're just being precautious. But Shake finished the night with 11 points. He only shot one shot from the three. He made it, and he was 45% from the field. Matisse Thybulle, man, he's been key on defense. His defensive efficiency is incredible. It's impeccable. They put him on De'Aaron Fox, the Kings' best player, and in that fourth quarter, De'Aaron could not do anything. That had a lot to do with because Matisse Thybulle was guarding him like Gary Payton. It's incredible. The guy, he's such a smart defender. He knows how to poke a ball. Even how hard it is to defend someone when their back is to you. But he's so good at just being able to poke the ball away. He knows where to put his hands. He's got those quick hands as well. So Matisse Thybulle, you know what it is when it comes to Matisse. He's here for defense, and this Sixers defense is so hard to stop or so hard to get by. And I think that the more and more I think about it, everyone is constantly asking me, do I think this Sixers team has what it takes to get in the NBA Finals? And I don't really know if they do have what it takes to get in the NBA Finals, because this isn't an orthodox way of playing basketball in 2021. We've been predicating for almost a decade now the small ball, the quick game, the shooting the lights out, the efficient shooting. But the Sixers team predicates mostly on defense. The tough stuff, but getting baskets down in the paint, playing stifling defense, creating turnovers, turning defense into offense. This is what the Sixers do very well, and I think that if the Sixers are going to go to the finals and make a run, this is the style that they have to play, and they can't shy away from it. They need to understand who they are, play this defense. Even guys like Danny Green, and even Toby's playing better defense right now. These are guys who are supposed to be important for your scoring, but these are guys also that have been big on defense as well. So if I'm thinking about how it is the Sixers are going to make the finals with the roster that is, it's just playing this stifling defense. Bully ball. We talked about it last year. Playing this bully ball. Well, if we want to get to the finals, we really need to play bully ball because we're not a finesse team. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe this is the way you win in the 2020s now. Because I think that the other team that people are not thinking about a lot but could make a run as well is the Denver Nuggets, a team that's somewhat built like us, even though they probably have better guards than us. But they have everything runs to Nikola Jokic, and they play good defense as well. And the Lakers too just won the finals. They play good defense. Obviously, they have LeBron. AD is probably the second best big man in the NBA, if not top 5. So I feel good with the way the Sixers are playing. And this road trip you're going to learn a lot about. And Daryl Morey said that in that Sixers Talk interview. Like, going over the West Coast, the Western Conference does play a different style of ball. And it's important for us to kind of take this road trip and learn from it. Because, if we're going to make the finals, we're going to play a Western Conference team, right? So this is definitely going to be big here. So the Western Conference road trip continues. Definitely a great way to start it off against a hot Sacramento Kings team, getting a huge W. But next up, it's payback time. On Thursday night, we're going to play against the Portland Trail Blazers. They should have Damian Lillard back. I don't think that we'll see Nurkic, Zach Collins, CJ McCollum thinks will be out for a while. So, but still, payback. It's payback time. Ben Simmons is going to be back. And hopefully Ben Simmons can bring that defense, and we can shut down Portland Trail Blazers. But this is again big test all throughout this road trip. All throughout this road trip, you got to see the Utah Jazz as well, who is the number 1 team in the NBA right now. So a pair of the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference versus number 1 team in the Western Conference going at it. We'll talk about that later, but that's going to be a Monday night, so that should be a lot of fun. But big win here by the Sixers again. Final score beating the Sacramento Kings 119-110. Sky's the limit here for the Philadelphia 76ers, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, that's all I got for you today. But in the comments below, let's continue the conversation. Let me know your thoughts on the Sixers win here against the Sacramento Kings. And let me know what your thoughts are of the Sixers going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel. Help your favorite Parcero to grow. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of Ed Parcero Philly, and I'm telling you guys to trust their damn process. Talk to you soon.